Okay, I'm going to show how to correctly apply a half weld tip to the natural nail. Tips normally come in the kit, and I think you can buy them separately as well. So they would typically look like these, and these are the half weld tips that fit at the free edge of the natural nail. Generally, they come in two colors. This is the natural color. There's also a clear one. Okay, and in order to prepare the natural nail, the first thing we're obviously going to do, as we've discussed in our preparation before, is you're going to push back the cuticle. Okay, you're going to take your electric file, set it to about 4000 RPM, and you are going to gently remove the shine from the natural nail, very gently, just removing all of that shine. This is not meant to be any pressure on it, and all we want to do is try and remove the shine of the natural nail. Okay, once you've done that, you are going to take your manicure brush with swipe, and you are going to dust off in one direction all of the dust and the debris, like that. Okay, and you're going to allow that to dry. Obviously, if you're using tips for all 5 fingers, you would have pushed back the cuticles on all the fingers, you would have removed shine on all the fingers, and you would have swiped all of the fingers. And so by the time you are done with the last finger, this finger then gets ready. But as you can see, as the swipe dries out, the natural nail goes into a chalky color. It is very, very important to note at this point that you do not apply protein bond to this natural nail. If you are going to adhere a tip, do not apply protein bond. You have to glue the tip onto the natural nail first, and then you can apply protein bond, making sure not to go over the tip as well at that. So at this point, what's quite important then is the sizing of the tip to the natural nail. Now, for this video, I have looked at some of the sizes, and I want to show you the correct way to size tips, just using 3 different tips that I took out of the bag. Okay, so the first one is, if you look at this tip, what you'd like it to do is to, without any pressure, it must align with the growth channels and with the curve of the natural nail. Now, if you look very carefully on this one, you can see that it's a bit small because it's starting to narrow from the free edge towards the rest of the tip. And that's with very, very little pressure, but it does meet the side profile. Okay, so that one may be a bit too small. If we move to the next one, okay, it looks a little bit large because you can see the sides of the tip are literally just going in to the growth channels of the natural nail. Okay, so this one may be slightly too big, and the previous one is slightly too small. Okay, and here's a third size where you can see very clearly that this is way too big. There's even a gap between the natural nail, and if I put pressure on it, it's really digging into the sidewall. So this one is way too big. Now, sometimes you will find that the tips fit the client's natural nails without too much of an issue, but in most instances, you're going to find that the natural nail is in between 2 sizes. And the rule of thumb, quite simply, take the bigger one, okay, and this is the bigger one, and it fits very well onto the actual natural nail, but it's slightly going into the growth channels on the side. And that's the important part. What you are going to do at that point is you're going to take this tip and you are literally going to use your hand file. 150 grit hand file works very well for this, and you're literally going to just file in those sharp edges that were going in to the sidewalls or into the growth channels with your hand file. Okay, try to keep it as straight as you possibly can, but ideally you literally just want to pull back those corners because it shouldn't have been going in that far. In any event, based on when we were sizing it, and you're going to come back and size it again, and now when you look on the sides, it's not going deep into the sidewalls. Okay, And that's the important part about sizing tips. You're then going to take your electric file, still at 4,000, and you're just going to very gently get in there, just get in there very gently, and just remove some of that shine. All right. Once you've done that, take your manicure brush. There's no need to put extra swipe on it, and just clean out any of that dust that may have gotten through when you were taking off the shine on the inside of the tip. Okay. You are then going to use the brush-on glue that comes into your kit. Okay, and this glue does not like to be in hot places, and it does not like the sunshine, so make sure you store it very nicely, cold and dark. You're going to wipe off most of the glue, and you're going to put a really, really thin layer starting in the center, coming up the one side, back from the center, up the other side, and that is all you're going to do. It does not require a lot of glue. If you put too much glue, it's going to spill out all over the place, onto your fingers, onto the client fingers, and all over your desk. And all you want to do is put it on right at the edge, press it down where the glue would have been, and hold it down for 10 seconds. And there you go. Tip applied. Once that is applied, you can use a scissor or a tip cutter or nail clipper, and you can clip this to the correct size, and you will see that the tips by manufacturing have a natural curve downwards, so you obviously want to cut it back into the length that you want. And that is how you apply a tip with glue.